What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Night Audit. I'm your host, Chaze Barnes. If it's your first time being here, let me give you the honors and being, or second, third, fifth time being here. Let me give you the honors to give you a hand clap. Let me give myself a hand clap as well. Day number 2 of my workout. Got one more day, and then we're done until Saturday. Saturday. How's everybody doing on this June 23rd, 2026? Yeah. All right. Well, we're starting a little bit earlier, I think so. So we're gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna change my background here. We got about 6 stories for y'all. We gotta talk about a family's plea for justice. We gotta talk about some state trooper scanner, some state troopers. We got some scandals on some state troopers on us on that's around in Florida and Massachusetts. And we also got a special message from an American hero. All right. And we got an attack out there in Los Angeles. It was at Simi Valley. And there's a follow up to the story, which I have to probably do it tomorrow at night. I did see an additional follow up towards it. And then we got to head over to Manhattan. We got to talk about Mandani and rent exploding under Mayor Mandani. So, cup of housekeeping. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. Share this with a friend if you want to. But we're going to jump right into it. Let's hit you up with the first story. Hold on, I'm going to change my banner. Boom. Check it.
Jack Watson for Maryland Cold Cases outside Baltimore County Police Headquarters in Towson. Investigators believe they're a few steps away from solving the unsolved 2022 killing of Diamond Trueheart. They just need someone to come forward.
She graduated from college. She started her own business. She was a great mom.
More than her many accomplishments, Nicole Jackson saw her 26-year-old daughter, Diamond Trueheart, as her best friend.
She was like my right hand. I had her at an early age. I had her at 15, so we grew up together.
Nicole and her daughter both worked at the Cilantro Suites on Baltimore National Pike. She describes January 13th, 2022, as the worst day of her life.
No one even should have known she was going to be there because it wasn't a day where she was working.
It was just kind of crazy to think something like this could happen in broad daylight in a shopping center.
Detective Jason Metz was on the scene that day and has worked the case since. As he recalls, around midday, Diamond and Nicole were leaving the salon, walking to their car. Then 2 people step out of a dark-colored sedan and open fire.
One subject kind of chases Diamond's mother and then kind of looks at her, disregards her, runs back to the car. The second subject, he continues to chase Diamond through the parking lot, just discharging rounds until Diamond ultimately falls, and then the subject just kind of stands over top of her.
Diamond Trueheart was shot to death, and the suspects fled the scene. Metz has chased down multiple leads. The car, which police found about a week later, had been set on fire. DNA led them to someone who may have had knowledge in the murder, but Metz says that lead didn't work out. After 4 years working on this case, he says he's a piece or two away.
Any murder is tragic, but especially this case. Diamond had nothing to do with anything, and to be targeted in a parking lot and just ruthlessly killed like that, there has to be somebody out there that knows something about it. It's just nobody has come forward.
I don't wish it on anyone at all. Like, this is a horrible nightmare that I have to live with for the rest of my life. And we just want justice for her and for our family.
If you can help Detective Metz get justice for Nicole and Diamond's family, call Baltimore County Police at 410-887-3943. For Maryland Cold Cases, I'm Jack Watson. Thank you for watching this edition of Maryland Cold Cases. You can check out more.
Wow. Whoa. Wait, man. Way to start the show. Ooh. Well, prayers up for the family as they're going through as this is a difficult time 4 years later. Hopefully that this detective and this team is hot on these guys' trail and they find the bastards that did it and then bring him to justice. It's almost, like I lost my uncle 2 years ago in April, and I still remember where I was. It was an afternoon, 2024. Yeah. So I was coming home from the gym. I was actually leaving from the gym. I was working out. My mom called me and she hit me with, she said, Chaz, got some sad news. I said, inside, she said, Uncle Charles been killed. I said, what? Yeah. And so I was in the middle of my sets and I stopped what I was doing. So I can imagine what Miss Trueheart, the mother, is dealing with. I mean, I'm not in her shoes, but I can imagine that, especially losing someone she had so young as well. So it doesn't appear she didn't have any more siblings. I think this is only her only child growing up with whatnot. I don't know why. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. And it's not to say the family, you know what I'm saying? They might have, they might, but somebody in the community knows something. This was a very selfish act. See, when Black people, when we do crimes, it's selfish. Okay. It's selfish. Okay. It's for some selfish reason, some selfish motive, whatever reason. Okay. So we always look into, we do the worst against each other, each other, because I can't even piece together a reason why these two individuals be targeted. Why? Like, why would they be targeted in a situation like this? I don't know. It's strange. So question I have, my first question is, how does a family ever find closure when a bright future is stolen overnight? I don't think there's ever like closure. Like even when they find a person, even when they find them, they lock them up because they got to go through the legal process and stuff like that. I don't think there's like, I think it's closure if you find the killers. Okay. It's still going to be a long, now like it's still a long roll ahead to like grieve afterwards because it brings it back up. It brings everything that you remember of your daughter, of your loved one. It comes back up in that moment when you lock eyes on your killer in the courtroom. So I'm going to say they're going to find these bastards, scumbags, and they're going to bring their asses to justice, because I don't know why. It's almost like the situation in Hammond when the two individuals got out the car and just put 80 rounds into the car and shot and killed somebody for what? Just mistaken identity. And then the dude, who was chasing the woman that they describe in this video, it didn't was enough that you shot her and hit her. You stood over her body and you executed her. What did she do to you, man? What did you do to you? As the ladies would say, who hurt you? Who hurt you? Anyway, second question. When the legal system drags its feet, what does real justice actually look like for a grieving family? Now, again, they can only, like they found a vehicle, but they torched it, unfortunately. They had a lead, that lead didn't go anywhere. So they're, these, I mean, like, these are not like the television shows, right? This is not, I mean, like First 48 kind of, you can sometimes, because that first 48 hours is very critical. It's very important. But it's not like the TV shows where there's a dramatic it's a dramatization of these where you find the people by the time the episode ends, the bad guys in custody. It's just not that quite simple. So I don't know what does real justice look like for a grieving family. I think this is a question for anybody when they watch this video can answer themselves, because I just gave, like, again, like, because like, you I mean because you got to bring, because they got it, like I said, they got to go through the process. They're gonna get a defense team. They're gonna, if the streets don't get them, now if the streets get them, I guess that's I mean, they find out that, I guess that's that. But I think they would want to look there. I would think the family, I think real justice, when it finally happens, again, I think they want to look, I think they want to look in the eyes of their killers, of their daughter, of the mother, want to look in the eyes of the killers that did this, because the mother was also shot, but she was getting chased as well. And I think also too, it is very rare that, like, let's say if a search warrant, let's say if an arrest warrant is issued, right? And I think there's rare cases where you can be on scene when they apprehend the suspects. I think there's a case of that. I think sometimes, I think that's probably what, part of real justice looking like, is being there, seeing them putting the handcuffs on you. Hopefully you without going out in a blaze of glory, but they see them putting handcuffs on you. Now you got to understand, an arrest is one thing and a conviction is another. So that's what I think that real justice will look like in this particular case for a grieving family. That's what, in my case, what I just give you my story about my uncle. That's what I, or like one of my my mom or her sister, they get the phone call from, the police department saying, hey, we got him, and what would it be like to sit in on that, to knowing that the suspect's name's on the wall and they got a location and they going after them, whatnot. They going in the night or broad day and hitting hard to get them. So I think that's probably what real justice look like. But you all let me know what you all think about this. This is a very sad story. Very, very sad indeed. Again, prayers up for the family and through that grieving time, and hopefully that they, that the guy said they're close. If he said if they're a piece or two away, I just ask God that, you show him, you reveal that those final two pieces to put it together to bring these POSs to justice. Woo! Thank you. Oh man. All right. Moving on, we got some state trooper scandals we got to cover, and we'll take you over to Central Florida right now. Let me change my ticketer to this. We'll take you over to Central Florida right now.
And 11 with some breaking news. Central Florida troopers arrested in an overtime fraud case. Good evening. I'm Ashley Garrett. Thank you so much for joining us. Among them, this lady here, Captain Lynita King, the Orlando District.
I like her dress. She look good. But this woman, bad, terrible, good, bad. Let me stop.
To Commander for FHP. Your community correspondent Troy Campbell is at the Osceola County Jail, where Captain King Troy has posted bond and could walk out tonight.
And we're told that she has posted the money, but the actual bail's bondman hasn't showed up. So we were told just before 10 that it would still be several more hours before she is actually able to walk out behind me. But we've been standing out here for about 4 hours, staring right there into the lobby of the jail. That's where we're told 63-year-old longtime Florida Highway Patrol Captain Lynita King turned herself in earlier this afternoon, going into custody on several felony charges of fraud. Now, those charges include defraud to obtain property value.
Oh, man, you the captain. You are the captain. Oh, no. I know I heard, no. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. We got to, no. No, we gotta play some right quick. Hold on. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Let me see. Let me pull my screen up. Let me share my screen with you all. Let me show y'all what I'm looking at. I'm gonna share my YouTube with you all. Oh man, we gotta play this scene real quick. Let me play a little bit. I just want y'all to just watch this. I mean, y'all pretty sure many of y'all seen this before. One of my favorite movies. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna see if I can. Let's see. Let me see. Hold on. I'm getting to it, y'all. I'm getting to it. Listen, the name of this episode is Badges Compromise. Okay, so I'm getting to the scene. It's getting there. That's right. Listen, it's about. Listen, what's the captain's name? Her name is Lynita King. It's about you right now. It's about you. Hold on. Get it. See, that's what she did. She disrespected the badge. So we gonna get back to the story.
Public servant, falsifying documents, and falsifying court documents. Now, we're told this is related to some sort of payroll issue or involving Captain King getting paid for hours worked or patrol time, possibly off duty, that she did not, in fact, work. Also arrested today is FHP Trooper Maurice Vilsaint. Now, he is not showing up in the jail records, but I did speak to a jail employee out here who told me that he did see that trooper back there in custody. We're told that he is facing the same charges as King. We're also told that the Office of Inspector General is leading this investigation. Very important. We're still waiting for that actual warrant or arrest affidavit with details to shine light on these charges. So again, we'll continue to keep you updated. Live in Osceola County, Troy Campbell.
All right,
News
let's
6.
make sure we keep a note of this.
All right,
I
Troy,
think there's
thank
a
you so
follow-up
much.
story to this, so we're gonna write this down. We got 2 stories. Okay, so we got to follow up. Let's say follow up with Central Troopers OT charges. All right. We're gonna have to get Robert McCall on this. Y'all are disrespecting the badge. What's going on? Okay, listen. Overtime with law enforcement should be a given. With the amount of crime that go on, the amount of things that people don't seem to do right. Listen, if you go over to Mississippi right now, overtime. They over there protesting, if y'all familiar, officer shot into a car, but after this was after, they, the people stole and, put the baby in there. It's a whole psyop over there. Okay. We're speaking on these people. Property, let's go back. She's in for what? She's got booked in on what?
Good evening. I'm Ashley Garrett. Thank you so much for joining us. Among them, this lady here, Captain Lynita King, the Orlando District 2
The Orlando District, you the captain of the Central District
Commander for FHP. Your community correspondent, Troy Campbell.
You are the creme de la creme of the highway patrol in your state, in the Central Division of your state. Because I think they're about to tell you what the charges are.
Is at the Osceola County Jail, where Captain King Troy has posted bond and could walk out tonight.
And we're told that she has posted the money, but the actual bail's bondman hasn't showed up. So we were told just before 10 that it would still be several more hours before she is actually able to walk out behind me. But we've been standing out here for about 4 hours, staring right there into the lobby of the jail. That's where we're told 63-year-old longtime Florida Highway Patrol Captain Lynita King turned herself in earlier this afternoon.
63, man. She looked good for a 63-year-old.
Going into custody on several felony charges of fraud. Now, those charges include defraud to obtain property value, a public...
To defraud property value. She can't be married. She might be married. I don't know.
Servant, falsifying documents.
Falsifying documents. Write her name down. We might have to do some research on her. Like, so many people you guys got to follow. Because it's just don't like this. Like, listen, we had a story where we talked about a CC supervisor. I think her name was Gwendolyn, Gwendolyn, over 40 fake invoices that total $190,000 or $179,000, whichever the case may be. Like, what is wrong with y'all? We're not gonna. I mean, we just want to get you. Listen, listen. We all quick Google searches figure out some things.
And falsifying court documents. Now we're told this is related to some sort of payroll issue.
Oh, you don't have to. Why? Like, you the captain. I mean, you gotta do everything, right? That means you have subordinates, you have lieutenants under you, you have sergeants, you have corporals under you. Okay, you have boots or recruits under you. You got, because I'm pretty sure there's a major. I'm pretty, they got a little hierarchy and whatnot. You got staff, like people look for you for leadership. See, this is a question with women in leadership. Okay, and I'm not saying she didn't work her way up to it, whatever, and all that. I'm not, but you got, regardless, like you can't be disrespecting the badge. You can't be disrespecting the uniform. If you got some hard financial times going on, again, like I said, this part of the show, like I said, listen, we all in the season. I'm in a season where, hey, listen, I'm playing defense. I'm trying to get my money back up, trying to figure it out. Okay. But if I need the money, just work extra overtime. I ain't gotta be defrauding. No, I ain't gotta play like I don't have to rip, skip, and scam, rip and run, to get the overtime. Where I work at, overtime is, you sneeze is overtime. Overtime is a dime throw away. Boop. You want some overtime? Boom, right there. Most of us is in a season. We're a season 2 away to be on the other side of what we're going through. Property, you defrauding court documents, defrauding property. What is going on here? You are the state trooper. You are the captain of the Central Division of the Florida Highway State Patrol. What you out here fraud? What you out here defrauding the people for? Defrauding the taxpayer for? The people, the fine citizens of Florida or the county. What did they do to you? I mean, there's already enough stuff going on, but what did they do to you? Like I said before, fraud is not a victimless crime. They got an FBI top 10 most wanted list for fraud. They not playing with your ass, okay? They will lock your ass up. They will serve you a warrant. They will be at your door at 3 a.m. Now I know they're saying more to it. I think there is a follow-up story to this anyway. But why? You're a crime fighter. You stop the crime. You are a crime fighter. And again, I have a high respect and high regard for the uniform because of the things that y'all see and do have to go through on a daily basis. She probably not be married or whatever. No, I mean, because again, these type of jobs, the hours and the type of things you see and all that stuff like that. So, might be single, probably got some kid. But in which way? Miss King, why? Why are you allegedly? Why are they saying these things about you? Why? And then the other person they didn't show a picture of or whatnot. Again, we'll figure it out. We just want to get, we just want the answers. It ain't, like, cause like, seriously. I think the next story is worse. I'll tell you about the next story. But I think like the question I have is if the state troopers hired to secure our highways, right, are the one running the scams, who is auditing the police? It should be internal affairs. Okay. I think a lot of times, you know what? It's just like the FBI. And I don't, it's like they put you on the list, they'll surveil you, whatever, and all that. They'll give you some rope. Okay. They'll see if you gonna like realize, okay, hey, something is off. Okay, I might need to stop what I'm doing. Okay. Internal affairs, I think they have eyes. Okay. There'll be some eyes, because everything is audited. Eventually, you get caught. I know it's a lot of pencil pushing, you know, paper shuffling and all that stuff like that. But eventually, maybe she was like 2 years away from retirement. She probably was close to retire. I don't, trying to get that extra bump or whatnot. But you know that they eventually gonna get you. You put your pension on the line. You put your retirement on the line. You put your your rank on the line. All that. All that. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. What I say, black people, we do selfish crimes. This is very selfish. Okay. I mean, at least she posted bail, but still, this is very selfish. It's for selfish reasons. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. We'll come back to that. Let's go to Boston because, we got more troopers doing things I'm supposed to be doing. There's a gun probe going on in this one. Check this one out.
5 investigates breaking information on a new criminal case involving an embattled Massachusetts state trooper. Michael Gagnon is locked up in jail after being arrested twice in 8 months. A source tells investigative reporter Ted Daniel this latest case involves the feds.
Trooper Gagnon's troubles began in November when Plimpton police arrested him for allegedly punching a 7-year-old in the face. The arrest prompted this.
Come again? Whoa.
Arrested him for allegedly punching a 7-year-old in the face.
Dog, you out here punching 7-year-olds in the face? You out here punching somebody else's kid. You punching somebody else's child in the face. Oh, they showing weapon. Oh man, listen, man, this goes from bad to worse.
The arrest prompted the seizure of Gagnon's weapons. 4 handguns and 341 rounds of ammo were confiscated, according to court documents. Multiple sources allege the ATF has been looking into an additional gun. It's unique.
Listen, you don't want the 3-letter. Listen, there they go. The 3-letter agency.
Because of what's engraved on it.
Trooper Michael Gagnon's record was clean during his first 5 years in a blue uniform. But it all began to unravel in November when he was charged with punching a kid in the face. And then months later, he was arrested on a wiretapping charge. Court documents allege Gagnon hacked Ring cameras at his estranged wife's home.
Oh, man, a woman. All this because of a woman. Oh, man. This is from bad to worse to extremely worse. Man, he had a bad case of botulitis. He went from his listen, ladies. I mean, man, listen, guys. We only get out of in a 2-3 year period, right? Where we, cause we show our love, we show what we feel like, we act crazy. We be talking about, listen to me. You only get one time, you every 2-3 years talking about you're gonna take your own life. Not you want to take your own life or whatever. And I don't advocate for that because listen, we love life. We just want to let you know how dire stuff is. Okay. Stuff get rough. 5 years. You had what? 5 years. And on the 5th year, so that means 4 years actually, because on the 5th year, you start going rogue. You went rogue. I literally just said about the last lady, the state trooper, the captain, Miss King. I said probably, not married, divorced, because of just what the type of job, people not always prepared for that kind of work or whatnot. I mean, the people that you bring along, you gotta know that you gotta try to keep that stuff separate. So it's hard trying to keep your stuff intact. But man, listen, never crash out over a woman. Never. I mean, listen, you only, like I said, you only get 1 or 2 times every 2-3 years. If you do it more often, they gonna start laughing at you. Lady gonna start, she gonna start. you ain't serious. You not serious. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
Her father.
And the wiretap charge specifically says
March 10th. It was on March 10th.
Bill Moran is Gagnon's estranged father-in-law. He says he flew up from Florida that day to meet with agents from the ATF and the U.S. Treasury Department.
There was an interview with myself, my daughter. My understanding that there was a discrepancies with Michael's weapons when he was arrested back in November. There was an inventory, it was not right.
Moran tells me one of the guns, a .45 caliber Smith & Wesson like this one,
Beautiful
is
gun.
unique. It's engraved with the name and seal of Gagnon's employer, the Massachusetts State Police. 25 Investigators learned the gun was one of thousands of decommissioned Smith & Wesson .45s the MSP traded to a Westwood gun dealer when the agency began transitioning to a new standard issue duty weapon in 2021. The deal helped defray more than $683,000 from the cost of replacement weapons.
Two sources briefed on the investigation tell me Gagnon bought 2 MSP-branded handguns in his name. According to our sources, Gagnon allegedly flipped one of those guns to a friend.
And we understood that it was involved tracking down a gun that went from Michael Gagnon to Dana Smith.
Dana Smith
So you start gun running. No, he
is a former Plimpton police officer and the vice chair of the Plimpton Board of Selectmen. Federal authorities are investigating whether Gagnon acted as the middleman in an illegal straw sale. It's a federal felony, carrying up to 15 years in prison. The ATF will only say it cannot offer any comment at this time.
I hope it's addressed. I mean, he's in jail now on the bail violations, and if there's a case there that would be worth charging, then charge him.
We contacted Gagnon's lawyer twice. She never responded. Dana Smith's lawyer responded but declined to comment. For 25 Investigates, I'm Ted Daniel.
So let's get this straight. You put, again, 4 years, first 4 years of the job, everything was going well. By the 5th year, you start having some relationship problems. And see, here's the thing, guys. When you're going through some relationship problems, whatever and all that, listen, you got to separate it. Meaning, like, the home stuff, if it's husband-wife stuff, let it stay husband-wife stuff. Don't let it affect your ability to get to the money. Okay? Because all the other stuff you can figure out. But don't let it affect you. Don't become a criminal. Okay? Do not become a criminal. Don't start becoming a gun runner. Don't start trying to hold guns back. You season a bunch of pounds of ammunition. Because listen, when I hear these kind of stories, that's a defeated white man. That's a defeated white man game. Okay? Could be the black man as well. Just saying, like, that is a man that's defeated. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put your job on the line because you got stuff going on at home. You got to separate that stuff. Do what you got to do and figure it out. Okay. Take him for someone who's in his own season of transition that can tell you that. Okay, it's hurt. Listen, it's hard. It's hurt. Listen, but listen, putting ring cameras up, bugging people and all that. Hey, man. Because then you face stalking charge. Now people putting, restraining orders on your ass, whatever, and all that. Like, again, like I said, you only get a couple times. Listen, you only get two, 3 times. Every 2-3 years, you only get one, where you kind of just be like, you never listen to me. You never listen to me. Where you blow up and then she come back. What? Well, I want to know what your opinion. No, because when I was trying to give you my opinion, I was trying to give you some game. You said no. Fine, forget it. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like, now you facing 15 years. 15 years. Again, why? Why are you disrespecting the badge? Why are you disrespecting the badge? Why are you listen? You disrespecting the badge and you're fumbling in the bag. Because I'm pretty sure. Listen, let me go do a quick Google research or what. Let me do a Google search on what the Massachusetts State Police officers earn in Massachusetts. I'm pretty sure, like without overtime. Let's see, Massachusetts trooper salary. Oh, man. Listen. Get this, y'all. I'm not gonna. I mean, I could show it to y'all, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. The starting salary as of 2025 for a Massachusetts State Trooper is about $80,212.60. That's not including overtime. With the highest paid trooper earning over $392,000. These people out here just risking it for all these low-level petty crimes. Why? So, listen, my question that I'm going to have to ask in this case, I'm going to have to ask to the chat, to ask to the comments, whatnot, In this case, is this case a few, listen, is this a case of few bad actors, which on both sides, whatever and all that, or is the institutional culture of state law enforcement completely compromised? Well, I just think it's a case of few bad actors. Okay. Can't say this. I mean, I know we got back-to-back stories, whatever and all that, but I think this is a case of few bad actors. Okay. Ain't no way in hell I'm not gonna put my job on the line for your ass. Hell no. No. I put the hours in, I put the energies in, I cut off people while everybody was out there dancing and partying, having a good time. I was focused on my purpose. I was on my path with God. I was on my purpose, on my mission. Till you had a couple, little relationship discourse, and now it threw you off. No. This is a case of few bad actors. Because I think overall, I don't think the institution of state law enforcement, because it's not, you don't really, this kind of stuff, you'll hear about this kind of stuff from city cops or maybe county PD or whatever and all that. Rarely do you hear this that from state troopers. You rarely hear this. Okay. So this one hits because it's you're patrolling the highways. You're like the first line of defense when it like people interstate, listen, you are the first when somebody is driving in your state, you are the first one to see them. And you the last one to see them. Now you got the edge of the border, whatever. You do got the county, but you are the first and last person to see. You the first and last line of defense. I mean, I know they got the equivalent of like here in Georgia, you got the GBI. I know they got they call them MBI, FB, Florida Bureau of Investigations or Massachusetts Bureau of Investigations. Woo, man. Listen, I'm telling you, man, you defeated. That's when people start doing stuff like that, they are defeated. Anyway, listen, we gotta move over to somebody who served our country, who served it admirably, proudly, okay, with great courage and great valor. We gonna take it over to the White House where Major Capers has a message to the nation. We gonna turn over to him now because Jesus, man, y'all need to talk to him. I need to put him on here quickly.
Nearly 6 decades after heroically leading his Marines through an ambush in Vietnam, President Trump awards Major James Capers Jr. the Medal of Honor.
For his incredible valor, Jim was recommended for the Medal of Honor in 1967, and everybody knew he should get it. But life is life. His commanding officer, who was his biggest man, was tragically killed before the paperwork was signed. Jim, the nation kept you waiting far too long So I say to you, congratulations. You made it. Thank you.
Major Capers is recognized as the father of Marine Corps Special Operations. He was the first African-American to lead a Marine recon company and receive a battlefield commission. And today, Major James Capers will be inducted into Pentagon's Hall of Heroes, and he joins us now. Major Capers, thank you so much for all your sacrifice and for coming on this morning.
It's an honor to be here.
Well,
Thank
it's
you.
an honor to talk to you. What went through your mind yesterday when the president put this Medal of Honor, placed it around your neck?
I got to tell you, it was a difficult time for me because I felt a little guilty because I didn't really felt like I deserved it with all of the men and women that served. And I get to do something like this. It's a wonderful day, and I'm honored.
Well, you were so stoic in these images, and I was watching this and thinking, I wonder if he's thinking about his friends, the men that didn't come home.
Yeah, you always think about that. You never turn that loose. Lost a lot of good men in battlefields, and I fought 2 wars and suffered 19 bullet holes. And along the way, out of the battle zones, my son died in my arms of appendicitis, and my wife of 50 years died of cancer. So I had to survive that on top of losing wonderful Marines, Special Operation Marines in combat. So there's no real satisfaction in getting a medal when I've lost so much.
Wow. Wow. How did the military help you get through so much tragedy?
Well, that's what the military does. We're one unit. When one falls, somebody else has to replace that person who fell. So I feel honored to have the support that I find today. I'm honored, and I give gratitude to the ones who made this happen. Can't say I'm happy to be here because this award belongs to a lot of young men who followed me and died in battlefields around this world for a country that we honored this flag. I appreciate that.
Well, and Major Capers, I was reading about your story, and you led your team in Vietnam with broken legs. You had lost a lot of blood. You were trying to get your men out with the helicopter, and you even offered, you volunteered, I'll get off this helicopter. If the helicopter's too heavy, I'll stay behind.
That's what you're supposed to do. When your man is in peril and you have an opportunity to save your men, then that's what I chose to do.
So it's in the book of John's, and I think Jesus had told, I think it was his disciples, and I think it goes, the greatest gift that one can do is lay down one's life for one's friends. I believe that's, I think, the book of John's. I think the first book of John's. So that makes that I'm letting him speak. I'm letting him that he's that. So that's what I want to kind of just say that.
To get off the helicopter to lighten the load so that my men can survive. I had a war dog named King, and we even brought on a war dog. He was killed saving my life, and we brought him home. We didn't leave him there. Even though the helicopter was overloaded, we took that chance. We had to do that. We did never leave anyone behind.
Even the service dog that saved your life. We have a clip from your Fox. We have a clip from your Fox Nation special. It's called "The Iron Major," James Capers Jr. Here's a clip. Watch this.
Okay. Everybody was wounded and killed my dog. Both my legs were broken. I was trying to stop the bleeding, and my hands were all full of blood, and blood was in my boots.
But Capers stood fast. He maintained command of the situation. He immediately started redistributing ammo, called in air, artillery, mortars within 50 meters of his position. He stayed in the attack with 2 other Marines, and he pushed forward. And he went after them with rifle and grenade until they pulled back.
Major Capers, you're the type of man that we all want to be around. I want to just sit in a room with you and listen to you and learn from you. What advice do you have for America and for young people?
Drive on. On that flag. And I didn't mean that as a joke. It just something that we do. When one man falls, then another one picks up that rifle and drives toward the enemy. And that enemy must be defeated. So that's an old adage that we use, and it's been successful for 250 years.
Major, thank you so much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
And I mean that. May God
Thank you.
bless all of your days. Thank you for what you've done for our great country.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click.
All right. Thank you for your service, Major. All right. So, question that I have is: are we doing enough as a nation to live up to the standards set by heroes like Major Capers? Are we doing enough? And second question is: in a divided country, why is it so rare to see this level of selfless patriotism? Questions to ponder. I'll probably leave that up to, if y'all want to hear my thoughts, if this was live, it's probably more authentic, but well, I don't think I think the ultimate sacrifice is I don't think you can are we doing enough as a nation to live up to the standards set by heroes like Major Capers and others? Which 4th of July is coming up, so there'll be probably more stories like this I'll be able to do and react to. I like these kind of stories as well. I like a lot of good war movies and good war stories. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say that I think we forget that we have a unprecedented level of freedom that a lot of places in the world don't have, and it's thanks to our military first and foremost. And this is a country where you can be anything you want to be. Not that I have to agree with it, but you can, you can be what it is you want to be, right? I think that I don't want to say all of us. I don't want to say we're trying. I think that our patriotism, I think it wanes, it fades. I think we show patriotism to other places and not showing, the patriotism to our own country first and foremost. Every 250 years, it's well documented where we've all where we had and whatever and all that. But I think that I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a really poignant answer to point to at this moment. I don't want to ramble too long. And I think maybe a better question is, why is it so rare to see this level of selfishness, patriotism in this country? I think because of programming. I think social programming. I think that we take it for granted. We are influenced by the wrong things. We still like if it's like for me, it's like I love where I love where I'm from. And as people who want me to hate where I'm from, and I can't. I can go visit other places, whatever, and all that, and I can be well received, but no matter where I go in this world, I'm going to salute the flag. No matter who's in office, I'm just going to respect the office, whatnot, because they're the leader of the armed forces. I just, again, I think that we have too many, we've missed the plot. We've gotten away from a lot of things, and we are influenced by allow extremists, extremist doctrines and anything to kind of tear down the American society, fabric of society. I don't. I mean, like I said, I'll have to probably. I'll check these questions, but I have to think, because I think because it's just, again, like I said, programming. I think that's what I can just probably say. I think the programming, I think the social programming, the demonization of our, architect, constitution, nation, like we don't, I mean, the last time I think like right now, I think like the last time in my time so far living, I think the last time I kind of seen all of us was more patriotic than ever. I think it was after 9/11. I was a little kid. I was like 10. And I think when they took down Osama bin Laden. I mean, it may be more. I mean, probably. Yeah, that's when I think. I would say Trump assassination attempt. But people were ugly and nasty about that too. And it's kind of funny how you can just say those things on a $2,000 device on somebody else's platform, and so, but yeah, so I think that's maybe. I mean, I know the World Cup is going. I know the United States is doing their thing as well, but I think that's the last. I think thus far what I've seen, where we all kind of came together. I mean, there may be other moments as well, but I think those two moments come to my mind where I kind of think it didn't really matter where you at was in where you was in this country or what your race was. We was all on the same team. We was all on the same team, and so that's what I think. I think it's why, because these people have seen a lot of things, whatnot, and these kind of people, these are the kind of people that get dirty to keep the world clean. They go do the dirty work behind the scenes they do a lot of things to keep this world clean as much as possible. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I do some more answering on that, but that's what I have so far. Maybe somebody else in the comments, if they see this part of the video or clip it up, they may be able. This may spark a good conversation as well. I think this is a good conversation to have. Whatever side, I think perspective, just putting it all in the front, and because people live long enough. There's people who probably who watch my videos who are actively in the service or law enforcement, and they have a perspective as well, that be interesting for me to listen to and receive. All right, yeah, moving on. Salute, like I said, salute to Major Capers. We're gonna move over to Los Angeles. There was a Simi Valley targeted attack, and I'm going to pull the video right now.
To the rescue of a woman being violently attacked inside a Target store. The victim was being choked by a homeless man in what police say appears to have been a random assault.
Shoppers were able to fight off the attacker, saving the woman's life. Sarah Welch live in Simi Valley, where she spoke to one of the men who jumped in to rescue that woman. Sarah.
Micah, hi, good evening. That man had just stopped here at the store with his son and daughter when this terrifying situation unfolded, and he told us he had no choice but to intervene.
Oh.
The violence erupted out of nowhere. A woman randomly attacked and choked in the clothing section of the Simi Valley Target Wednesday night.
We started hearing screaming from across the store.
Unsure what was happening, several Good Samaritans and store workers rushed over to help.
The lady that was being choked, she looked like she was basically unconscious.
She was almost dead. I don't know who's that guy. Are you okay?
Andy Garbing didn't hesitate as the man attacked anyone who tried to intervene.
Get the
out of the store.
My dad, he did not doubt himself at all. He went right into the fight and started attacking the guy.
And he got way too close to my daughter, so then that's when the daddy came out at me and I started hitting him.
He fought off the guy while his son Grant rolled the video, with his 4-year-old sister also witnessing it all. The store was evacuated as the man roamed around and attacked a teenager.
Call 911.
The suspect just jumped on his back and started attacking him, which then I started attacking him again.
Get on the ground. Cops cornered the guy and eventually took him into custody. As terrifying as it was,
The police officers and some of the other victims said that if we didn't jump in, she probably would have died.
I would consider him a hero. I am very proud of him, of course. I'm happy it didn't end up any worse.
and that woman who was choked was taken to the hospital. We're told she's recovering. As for the suspect, he had just gotten out of jail the day before.
I knew it. I knew it. I was literally saying in my head, I said, he probably got a rap sheet. I knew it. I was listen, I put my profiling hat on. I was like, it's Los Angeles. Okay. They're pretty lean on crime. Okay. To the point they let murderers out on bail, on bond. Okay. And I was like, I was like, yeah, he probably has already been in jail a couple times.
He's now back behind bars facing a slew of charges. We did speak to his family this evening. They told us a few years back he was a hardworking guy, a good dad, but drugs and mental illness
I knew it.
got the best of him, and they are still praying that one day he might make a recovery. Sharon, Micah, back to you.
I just said it, man. Listen, every time we do crimes, it's selfish. It's for selfish reasons. It's for selfish reasons. You just randomly start attacking people. When violent attacks happen in broad daylight, does the burden of self-defense fall entirely on everyday citizens? Will rather not having to be in a position to take action if they don't have to. Okay. But you do have people that step in, such as, these individuals here that, that literally say today that that could have been worse. It could have been tragic. Okay. So for the most part, people just do this. They just do this. Oh my God, oh, police, am I gonna call the police? Oh my God, what to do? Oh my God. Oh shit, man. So it's like when people get attacked, because when I be scrolling through X, and it's barbaric over there. You see people fighting, you see fight videos and stuff like that. Everything is a viral moment. People are literally lives are on the line. They are fighting, they're clinging to life, and you are turning their would-be last moments into a viral moment. For what? You demon. Now in this particular case, I mean, like, somebody stepped in, but I'm saying overall, people just do this. Man, you don't get on your phone and call the damn police or do help or something. Everyday citizens, if they don't have to, they don't want to be stepping in and do self-defense. Okay. But when you have people like, let's see if we go back right quick. Let's see. This guy here. Okay. We have these people. We will have this gentleman here. We have people that will. Okay. Now they're saying it's everybody, because everybody be like, man, vote that. Oh, I'm gonna get out of here. But my man said, nah. Not in front of my kids. Nah. And the other question is, if you aren't safe running basic errands at a local store or Target, which don't look like it's been boycotted, that's a separate. I don't shop at Target. This is not a boycott thing at all. No, I don't. But Target has some good stuff in there. I think my mom do. My mom be shopping in there. That's my mom and auntie and stuff like that. But again, that doesn't have anything to do with this. Has public security completely collapsed? Man, I don't know. I mean, if you aren't safe running basic errands at a local store, has public security completely collapsed? I mean, even some of the securities be bailing out. Some securities be retreating up out of there. They be like, fuck this. They like, no. They not the top flight of the security of the world, Craig. No, they like, nah. Because again, I don't know. Maybe loss prevention. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're not paying loss prevention enough money. I don't know. Maybe they lost their contract. I don't know. Maybe they hired prior security. I don't know. So, again, ask that question. If you aren't safe running basic errands at a local store, has public security completely collapsed? I don't say completely collapse. Okay, I don't say it completely collapsed, but we don't know what they security like. I'm not saying that, usually Target, Marshalls, they usually got loss prevention. You usually got like loss prevention there. They got loss prevention there. So I don't think that it completely collapsed. But you don't have enough security to be on every aisle watching out for people like that. Because now maybe they could have turned away the guy. They could have turned him away. Perhaps they could have turned the guy away. They could have been like, hey, no, sir, you can't come in here. No, you can't come in here. Sorry. Maybe they could have like followed him a little bit. I mean, listen. Something is off about that guy. Hey, something. Look, hold on. Where you in? Like, hey, keep an eye on this guy. Let's see if we can find a picture. Let's see what this guy. Let's see if we can find a picture of this guy. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Whoa. Yep, right here, right there. Black hoodie on, unkept beard, hair kind of all over the place. Look a little off. Probably got a smell to him. Might need to keep an eye on him. I'm serious. Keep an eye. Hey, stay close to me. Hey, watch out. That watch out for him. So at that point, you know what I'm saying? If something do look off, if a subject look a little off, keep an eye on them. Because you can't necessarily call the cops. Can't do that because they haven't did anything yet. But again, keep an eye on them. If something look off, whatever, and all that about them, keep an eye on them. Just saying. All right, moving on to the last story. We got to go to Manhattan. We got to talk about rents. Yeah, man. I guess people over there fed up with McDonald's. Oh, wait, hold on. That's not what's supposed to happen. There we go. Bam. All right. So last topic of tonight.
Zohran Mamdani got elected to fix New York's housing affordability problems, but it's only gotten worse since he took office. New numbers show the median Manhattan rent has hit a new record high at just over $5,000 a month, up 7% from last year. So I don't know, maybe demonizing landlords is not a cure-all. I want to get a sharp opinion out of you today, Mike. So what do you think about this?
We haven't had one yet.
I'm undecided.
Both ways, says Michael Lee.
Of course this failed. Of course it did. Like, you're doubling down on stupid. All right. And like, it's more
7%. So rent was high last year. It was under Eric Adams. It was high as well. It was high under this. Was it de Blasio?
regulation, more government control has never, ever led to lower prices, right? Like what you have in New York is you have a supply problem, right? And that's caused by excess regulation. It's really hard to build here. It's really hard to develop. Okay, the cost of doing business through taxes and all. There are New York City government agencies that you can't even imagine but exist. Yeah. Just to make your life harder to do this or to do that. The layers of government. And so it's I live in Florida. We have more people than the state of New York, and we have a smaller budget than the city of New York. So
y'all down there driving up the prices, but I think DeSantis is trying to eliminate property taxes in Florida. That would be actually a game changer.
Of course, this is going to fail. But look, Mondami was smart in that he said, hey, I realize this is a problem for you, and I hear your pain, and I'm going to work really hard to solve that problem. Instead of talking about how good he is, how great he is, how much experience he has, he talked to the voter, he listened to the voter, and tried to articulate his concern. That's why he won. Of course, it wasn't going to work, but like when you're desperate and you've come through the education system that has been destroyed, you're like, hey, let's give it a try, even though,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's really trying to do this. I mean, he's asking for multiple billions of dollars in state help over 5 years in order to do things that are.
We got to give you $1 billion. We got to give you $1 billion to try to figure out the rent housing problem that's in New York City. $1 billion from the state, and then you asking it from the federal government. Housing went up 7% before he took office. They said the average is 5,100, and you're trying to throw money. You can't tax your way to wealth. You can't tax your way to success. You can't. Y'all got too many government programs or whatnot. More ways of funneling taxpayers' money to do God knows what to. I don't know. That's
really challenging. Let me give you some example. Cut the timeline for zoning changes by 2 years. Converting office space into apartments, cutting that process, which is very convoluted, by 5 months. The lottery system to get into some of these buildings, overhaul that with a simple income verification strategy. This all sounds like he's trying to make it work. Yet, we're hearing and we're seeing that median rents in Manhattan topping $5,100. So the city is only getting more expensive as he's coming out trying to say all these things to make it less expensive.
Well, he's saying all those things, but the people who have to
do them?
Build stuff are like,
Don't
if
want
I
to with
build
him.
stuff here, what's going to happen once I build it? Now I'm stuck, and he's going to freeze my rent, or he's going to tell me, no, actually, you're a bad landlord, so that's the government's problem.
And all of this is at least a 5-year plan, and we all know the timeline to build. Even with these changes, if he can get them through, he's probably going to be longer than his administration.
Yeah, he won't be here in 5 years. I think that's a secret with everything.
Okay, so can you actually fix a rental crisis with price control, or is New York just doubling down on failed economics? Can you actually fix a rent crisis with price controls, or is New York just doubling down on failed economics? Seems to me that rent gonna keep going up. Rent's gonna find a way to keep going up in there. It's gonna keep going up. Second question: when socialist policies drive up rent to record highs, at what point do the voter admits the math doesn't work? Nope. Matter of fact, that is a hold on. Let me see something right quick. That deserves a you listen, the voters that voted him in, that vote in New York City, you all know what the problems are. Now, are they did have millionaires roll, they have billionaires roll? Yeah. I think that most people just have property there, like have houses there, but the voters need to admit that the math just not working. The math is not working at all. And they keep voting in the same thing. They keep voting the same people, the same thing. It's like the magic school bus. Keep voting the same people, the same thing, and y'all keep complaining about the same stuff. And again, I just think that can you actually fix a rental crisis with price control, or is New York just doubling down on failed economics? They've tried price control, and somehow they still keep going up. New York is too expensive. At least New York City. I think maybe the outer parts are not as expensive. You got to be making a certain amount of money. You got to be making a certain amount of money to, I don't know. That's something to look into, because again, like I just think it's failed economics. You keep building up on stuff, but you can't build stuff. So you got to try to make do. So now you're reshuffling the stuff. You're trying to turn this stuff. You're trying to turn office buildings into studio apartments, and I don't know, man. I don't know. But and then because these be the people that Bernie Sanders be like, we need to tax the $1 billion. We need to tax the billionaires, the oligarchies. Now they're gonna be trillionaires. They ain't gonna, after a while, they're gonna be trillionaires. Then we need to tax the trillionaires. You know, need to pay your fair share. What? Wait. And this is how people circumvent not paying a whole lot in taxes. That's how businesses can just get out of something, because again, they like, screw that. We just gonna move somewhere else where there's a better tax haven than this. I don't know how many people have left New York in the last 10 years. I'll be interesting to know, but people still keep moving there. I think New York is a place to visit, but I think it's a place to live. No. Nah. I mean, if you do, we might have to be on the outer parts of it. The inner parts of it, you got to be making a certain amount of money, and I don't know, man. And I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think the voters just need to admit that the math is not mathing, okay? Because listen, you got to get what you can afford. If you can't afford to live in Manhattan, listen, I understand the complaining, but again, you people keep voting for it. Okay. I gotta take 40 minutes to travel into the city. Okay. Well, I mean, you gotta get what you can afford. I said this before, and you know, with rent, like, you gotta live where you can afford. Okay. You're gonna have to triple your money to be able to afford that. And we just saying the rent. We're not talking about the utilities. We're not talking about the amenities. We're talking about just the rent. I'm not gonna be paying, even if I could, if that's what I can afford, fine. I mean, it doesn't hurt me or whatnot, but I'm not gonna be paying over no $5,100 to you every month. Nope. If I live there for 3 months, perhaps just living there for 3 months. But for a long period of time, no. At that point, I might as well just buy. And listen, at that particular point, if I'm earning at a certain point, I rather just buy it and just hold it. And I mean, the value goes up, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, pay the taxes and stuff like that, and just buy the piece of property and just hold on to it. I think a lot of the properties in Manhattan just gets handed down anyway. Because it's price. You're like, essentially, anybody's living in New York City, you're priced out. Like, who's trying to live in New York City, trying to move, you're priced out. And I've been living for 35 years, and New York has always been expensive. Even the ones that moved down here moved to Atlanta, whatever, it's always been expensive. I'm like, how y'all make it up there? How? I love visiting Boston and whatnot. I think Boston is a little bit affordable. I mean, it can be expensive as well, but I can probably living in Boston, but New York City, I don't know about that. But that's some questions to ask. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who live in New York City, or anybody who has lived in New York City, or can you actually fix a rental crisis with price controls? And I think price controls only go for so long, because I did a story like in San Francisco, because it's only if the law permits it, because there's an ordinance, but then there's also state law. I know there's housing, whatever, and all that. If it's privately owned or whatever and all that, I mean, there may be a way where certain properties can like bypass price control. And I believe that's the case there. I think there are places that if the property was built at a certain point, before a certain point, they're not, you got to think those builders in New York City, as long as Sinatra, they was around when Sinatra was around. They was around when Clyde Davis was alive. R.I.P. to Clyde Davis. You know, Babe Ruth. I mean, he's been gone for 1,000 years. I'm just saying, like, it's always been, they built on it. So I don't know. But that's a question to ask. I mean, those are my two questions to ask. But yeah. Whew. All right. Well, this wraps up this show of the night audit. Let me give myself a hand clap. Yeah. All right. So before we get up out of here, we wrote a couple things down, whatnot. Make sure you hit a like, comment, rate, subscribe, and view, all that good stuff. You know, I know y'all still married, y'all dating your boy. You know what I'm saying? This is for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? But if you can, this channel is slowly growing. We're growing. I appreciate the comments. I interact whenever I can. I get a comment, I'll be like, "Ooh, oh my goodness," and because I be thinking that people don't be understanding what I be saying, so my questions and stuff like that. So I'm trying to make sure the questions aren't so wordy, and y'all recognize I got a little accent myself, but hopefully I'm giving you all something to like react to and think about, and y'all give me what y'all thoughts are, which people have, and I appreciate that. So again, make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe, and view. I will see you all in the next one. Again, make sure you audit your life. People in Manhattan, audit your life before life or the world audits it for you. Peace.